Welcome to Adaptive Music. My name is Tony Alexander, and I'll be your tour guide. I've been an intellectual property attorney for more than 25 years and a law professor for close to 10. And I will be the one that will help you navigate as we go through the various elements of the music industry. We'll start with the very basic building blocks and we'll expand from there. So let's get started. First, when we think about the music industry, there are a lot of similarities to the color wheel. And so we're going to be using colors throughout our educational journey. So just like the color wheel, there are three primary colors, and then you have three secondary colors that are created from the primary colors. In the music industry, you have three basic building blocks. And upon those three basic building blocks, we can then have secondary building blocks. And from there, you can create an amazing color palette. And so that's what we're going to discuss. So, just real quick, I'm just going to give you a sense of where we're going and the tools that we're going to use. So, when you think about the music industry, and for those of you who are independent, you don't have a team, you're just starting, this is from scratch for you, then you think about it from this perspective. Everything will begin then with the songwriter. And so the songwriter, and if you can kind of see there, we have the songwriter on this red hat. And so, whenever we talk about elements of what a songwriter would do, we will always use red. Red being the primary color, and that is a primary color for the songwriter. We know that the songwriter is responsible for creating the song. And you talk to a lot of people in the music industry, they say it all begins with a song, but it doesn't begin with a song. It begins with the songwriter, and then the songwriter creates the song. We'll be using blue anytime we talk about the song and the elements of the song. We will be using blue. So you have red for songwriter, blue for the song. Then the songwriter may or may not also be the artist. And so when we talk about artists, we're going to use yellow. So we know the primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. And these are going to be the primary colors that we're going to use for these discussions. Red for songwriter, blue for song, and yellow for the artist. And for those of you, like most of you, you are the songwriter who writes the song and you're also the artist. So you're wearing all three of these hats. So this is how many of you are looking at the moment. You're wearing all three of these hats. And this is essentially how many of you are operating. You're walking around with these three hats. But that's not enough because when you put these together, then there are other elements of the music industry that also have to be taken into consideration. Because when it comes to music, you have to then find a way to get the song paired with the artist so that it can then be published. And what typically happens is there is production that has to take place. And so you have to actually make the song, and production becomes orange. And then we then publish the song. And so the publisher will be purple as we go forward with this discussion. And then oftentimes there is a label involved. Now, if you have not signed with a formal label, you have not necessarily signed with a formal publishing company, and you're not necessarily working with a production company, you're doing all these things yourself, then you are also the label, you are also the publishing company, and you are also the production company. And so, as you can imagine, you're now putting on more hats. And so, the reality for many independent artists is you're wearing all of these hats. The problem is, if you don't know what each one of these elements are supposed to do. You're wearing the hat, but you're not delivering the service to get the results. And so, what we're going to do is we're going to spend some time learning what each and every one of these responsibilities are, what each one should do, and what the revenue streams are that are associated with each. So, stay tuned and we'll get back to that.